All right, well, good morning, good afternoon if you're on the East Coast. Welcome to eXp World and to our Cloud Auditorium. I'm excited that you're here today. Happy Friday to everybody. You were probably invited here today to experience a little bit about our cloud technology in this office you're in right now, to learn a little bit about eXp's very competitive compensation plans as far as commission structure goes. And even our stock plan, well, it's not stock plan, it's our stock equity awards program and agent equity awards. Maybe even you're here to learn a little bit more about our revenue share program and really a lot about the on-demand tech and training and support we can provide using this cloud technology to help the hundreds, thousands, I should say, of agents that are now joining eXp Realty to grow and succeed in their real estate business. My name is Brad Andersohn. I'm the Director of Education and Industry Outreach for eXp Realty, and it's my privilege and it's an honor to be able to talk about this company, where we've been, where we are today, and where we're going. You know, eXp has been considered by a lot of people in the industry, and you've probably heard the buzz. It's pretty electric out there that we're a disruptor. Glenn Sanford was even flown out of the country to sit on a disruption panel as he was recognized as disrupting the real estate industry. He got to sit on a panel with other industry disruptors and talk about how his vision has really become something that's become for you today a real estate game changer. So back, in the day, we used to walk around the cloud here, and we used to say we want our value proposition to be so good that if you saw this model, you'd feel irresponsible to hang your license anywhere else. Well, what we're going to uncover in this introduction to eXp Realty today is a variety of very unique and significant differences in the model as compared to others that you'll see in and around the country and even around the world. We're going to talk a little bit about where we are today, but we'll also talk about where we've come from and where we're going. We'll talk about the model and how we can differentiate ourselves from anybody else out there. We'll talk a little bit about this technology you're in. We call it eXp World, but you are in the cloud. You are not in virtual reality. You're not wearing a headset. You are just in a 3D, fully immersive, high-tech, high-touch world. We're going to go into talking about your business, you as an agent, as a human being that has a life and lives in a community. Your business can and should be done the way you believe it should be done. We're going to go behind the scenes, show you how we do all this. And then if you're interested, you're going to continue your due diligence. You can continue looking into a little deeper if eXp Realty is right for you and if you're right for us. So a little bit about our history, which I, again, believe it's important, where we've come from to know why we're here and especially where we're going. It's because of this young man right here. This is Glenn Sanford. He is the founder and creator of eXp Realty, the very first agent-owned cloud brokerage. I got to meet Glenn back in 2009. It's my little story, who is my sponsor here at eXp Realty, by the way. He's the one who brought me into this meeting, just like all of you have been invited in here. But he did the very first ever real estate cloud tour video with me back on YouTube. Folks, this was back in December of 2009. He had maybe 30 to 40, 50 agents or so and was moving them all into the cloud. No more brick and mortar. And no more what I would call, in my opinion, worthless, unjustifiable overhead costs and expenses. Why? Because if 90% of America is only doing 10% of the real estate business, why put desks out there for all of them? Let them sit at home. I'm teasing, but really this concept back then, if you think about it, and still today, is nothing short of genius. Every top agent I've met in 30 years is either in the seller's home trying to list it, they're in another home trying to get the buyer to write an offer, or they're in their own home trying to have a life. I've never really met too many top agents around the country who sit in a real estate office somewhere. And so anyway, Glenn has been recognized in 2009, and remember the year 2009, what kind of a market we were actually in. This is when Glenn launched eXp. Now, prior to Glenn actually launching eXp, he was one of the top people, top 50 actually internationally across the globe for Keller Williams. And so he wanted to build a real estate company that he himself would want to go to work for, and he did. And today he's been recognized by Inman, and we've been recognized by NAR, and he sat on panels, and he's been recognized by Stefan Swanepoel's Trends. He's always in the top 200 most influential. You can just Google Glenn Sanford. That's 2 N's in Glenn, by the way. And you can just see what this man has done, not just for the industry, but for the world. As I said, 2009 was a pretty tough market. I remember there was subprime lending costing America tons of foreclosure. Real estate companies were going upside down and belly up, foreclosure. I know the title companies were laying off. I remember Bank of America letting, I think it was about 500 loan officers go over in Pleasant Hill, California. A sad, sad day, but it was the industry, it was the market. And so Glenn said, you know what? I can't, I'm not going to do this. eXp was pretty much evolved out of one of the worst real estate markets in a long time. I'm not going to say since the Great Depression because I didn't stand in a soup line. But I do know that it was a tough time. Let's just say that. And so being created in a market where most people were going upside down and belly up, it's from those really diverse, extreme market conditions that eXp was not only be able to envision, and Glenn envisioned and his team this to create a company like this, get rid of the overhead and the operating costs, but to actually build something in the cloud and then grow it and thrive it and water it and weed and harvest in order to truly stay alive in a market and in an industry and where others were failing or going into bankruptcy, or remember America was in foreclosure. And this company continued to climb and grow, and as you can see by this chart, has exceeded a lot of the goals. You can go back and look at our history. We've gone, and the reason why I say this is because I believe we've truly gone where no man or company has ever gone before. What Glenn has done is basically broken the traditional model and that whole brokerage hierarchy, and he built something amazing along with some of the greatest people now across this country to help you as agents and brokers and his teams become more successful. So having been born and created out of one of these really tough real estate markets, I can tell you, I feel rest assured that we're not only prepared for that market if it ever came back today, we're actually the real estate company people are looking at because we're the ones that are paving the new way. I want to talk a little bit about our business model. Our business model is unique, and this is something you might want to make a couple of notes on, and it's right there on the screen. It's just we are an agent-owned cloud brokerage. That's unique in and of itself. I don't know of other brokerages where every agent in that company is an owner. They have skin in the game. They have shares of stock in the company. They are truly an owner just as much as you are the avatar sitting next to you or in front of you or behind you. And so agent-owned is pretty blatantly clear. I don't think I'll need to really go too deep into that. I will in a moment. But I think the cloud brokerage piece is what's really fascinating to some of you, being your first time, being an avatar without running around in a world on an Xbox or a PlayStation and actually saying, wait a minute, you guys do business in here? Yes, absolutely. This is my office. This is my home. My desk is here. You're here. This is where I work each and every day. In fact, I got a couple hundred full-time staff right out those doors right behind you. How can we do that? This is a cloud brokerage. So we truly have gone where no man's gone before. Let's talk a little bit about this business model and this cloud brokerage, because it is one and the same. When you think of the cost I was talking about when Glenn had his office in Bellingham up in Washington, and he closed that down, he launched eXp, and he moved here into this cloud environment. He had a lot of costly overhead and expenses, as do, and just like every other typical franchise out there. He was locally confined to the four walls within the brick and mortar building. There was no real consistent growth or incentive for any agent within the room to help any other agent in the room, because that evening they all competed for the same listings. And with limited technology, depending on who the smartest person in the room was, technology-wise, that would be Glenn, of course, where are you going to go if Glenn's gone? And so, there is no collaboration. There's no incentive to collaborate. There's no reason I would tell you what works and what doesn't. And today, what Glenn said is, let's get rid of the costly overhead and let's create a cloud environment where there won't be all those costs, the janitor fees, the desk fees, the bottled water for the refrigerator, not to mention the lease and the electricity and the garbage and the couch for the lobby. And wow, it gets very expensive. Also, what could we do if we didn't have to make you get up, take your shower, put on your best clothing, get in your car, drive across town, deal with road rage, just to show up to a seminar for a half an hour to learn about something like KV Core, or we use SkySlope, or let me teach you how to make marketing materials with Breakthrough Broker, or see, you'd spend a fortune of time. Well, you can come in here and take 6 hours of training in a single day and be a week ahead of your competition. Collaboration, there's nothing like collaborating with, look around the room right now. You're surrounded by people all over the country. Some of you are from outside of the country right now. Whether you live there, visiting there, or you're just joining us today, we have global reach. And then as far as the ownership piece, that's the attention. That's the disruption. We're not a couple of leaders, owners who own this company followed by 7,000, 8,000, 20,000 agents someday. No, every agent in this company is an owner. And that is a powerful group to meet with in here. If you can imagine what it's like to meet in real life, you've never experienced anything like it. Trust me, go to an eXp convention, go to a shareholder meeting, go to the live events. You surround all of these people who are owners here at eXp in a real environment. Look out Marriott, look out Hyatt, because those of you who have been to one of those events, you know exactly what I'm talking about. All right, let's move on. I'm going to get into the cloud environment. Our cloud office environment that you're in right now obviously is very unique. If you press the space bar, you can look around, press the space bar again, it'll turn your mouse back to normal. It's just a toggle button. But with that little space bar that's on your computer right now, you could look to the avatar to the left, you could look to the avatar to the right, you can look up, you can look down. This cloud environment you're in right now, folks, plays and a very powerful and significant role in our company's ability to provide success to you. You know, the ability to literally work from anywhere and anywhere you have an internet connection, to not have the desk fee and the overhead costs, the operating costs. That allows us to pay higher commission with a lower cap, allowing you to go to 100% commission. It allows us to give you stock ownership in this company. It allows us to share revenue off the top of transactions with you instead of off the bottom, what they call profit share if there's anything left. We call it revenue share because it comes off the top. Profit share is something that comes off the bottom if there's anything left. So training and education, I'm going to take a second on this one because we can provide you up to 15. Normally it's 25 plus hours every single week, every single day. We do live training, education, support, workshop groups in here. We do full-time. I have a full-time eXp staff that's working in and from around the cloud right now to service our agents and broker owners. They're in different departments scattered throughout this eXp world you're in right now. See, this is not a webinar, so don't just close that window when you're done. Take your avatar, go walk around, check some of the things out. What I'd like to do now is talk about this collaboration thing, because if you think about it, when you go to the NAR convention, I just want you to personally ask yourself a question right now. If you were going to spend the money it's going to cost to go to Inman Connect in New York City or San Francisco, if you were going to go to that event, number one, how much would it cost you to go? Number two, an even more important question would be why? What is your why? Why would you go to an Inman Connect or to an NAR convention or to any real estate related event anywhere in the country? Why would you go? Wouldn't you go to, number one, meet with people that are in the same industry as you? Number two, wouldn't you go there to rub elbows with and hobnob with the top people? Wouldn't you go there to hear the latest, greatest technology and shake hands with some of the people who are on the forefront of these ideas and industry disruptive changes? Of course you would. And that's what we do in here each and every day, every week, all month, all year long. And you know what? You know how much it costs to go to an NAR? And I love the NAR conventions. I go to Inman Connect. But you know how much it cost me to come in here this morning and talk to all of you? Folks, do me a favor. Let me talk to you about collaboration. Do me a favor. In the text chat down there by your microphone, just type in what city you're in. I love to do this every time we do this session. If you just type in where you're at right now physically in the world, I just want to show all of you. If you look in the text chat, everybody should be typing right now. I need at least 85 responses. And if you would all type in the text chat where you are physically hearing my voice right now, from Enterprise to Friendswood. I'm pulling up some cities I haven't heard of. This is great. I always look for new cities. Titusville, Florida, West Milf. Keep coming, folks, because the next thing I'm going to ask you to type in there is, it's very important to know where you are, because if my sellers were leaving my area, I could give all of you a referral. If they're coming to Missouri City in Texas, Nicole's going to get my referral. She's going to give me a 30% referral fee, right? I mean, look how quick we could be referring business to each other right now. Now, here's the best part. Now go into the text chat and tell me, how long have you been in the real estate business? Just real quickly, just a number. You don't even have to put years. Oops, I missed a number. I put 3 years. Folks, I've been doing this for a lot longer than 3 years. I've been at eXp for 3 years. Here, I'm going to put my number in there. I'm just going to put a plus on mine, okay? So as you're typing, everybody, I don't care if you just started last month, it's okay. And I don't care if you've been doing this 105 years. If you are, you need to get out of the business. But, you just need to go enjoy your life. But if you look at the box right now, did I just not prove to all of you? Amongst yourselves, you proved it to you that you couldn't find a better place on the planet Earth right here, right now, where there's 85 people in a room that could collaborate with over 200 years of experience, and they're from all over the United States of America. Isn't this just as powerful as sitting and listening to Tony Robbins up on, well, maybe not Tony Robbins. He's a pretty awesome guy. But seriously, look, is there not a challenge right now in this room that we can't overcome together? And it doesn't even have to be real estate related. We got 85 people here in a room from all over the country with years of experience and wisdom and knowledge. Tell me we can't or aren't right now in real time the most powerful force in real estate right now on the planet. Just us little group in this little cloud auditorium. But the power that ekes from this meeting right now is unbelievable, because I am surrounded. I think I'm a pretty smart guy, but I look out into the audience and think, oh my gosh. Chance Bland's here, 8 years experience. Brian Colhane, 15 years. He could retire. Brian Colhane, welcome, by the way. He's a co-founder of eXp Realty. Honor to have you here, a privilege to have you. In fact, if it wasn't for Brian, I wouldn't be here. So thanks for coming in, Brian. All right, so when it comes to collaboration, do you see what we've just done? We've just proven to you, beyond the shadow of a doubt, that you would not be a competitor here. You'd be a co-owner. And why would I not want to help every one of you? Because not one of you would be competing against me for a listing tonight in Napa. Does that make sense? Is this cloud collaboration starting to kind of unfold into, something more than just colorful avatars and some gaming environment? No, folks. This social proof kind of proves, we just polled the audience and just found some great stuff. So make sure you contact the person who invited you in here today and make sure you thank them. They are your sponsor and they can help you going forward. Agent ownership. Let's go into talk about what I think is really driving all this attention to eXp. And I'm going to be really honest with everyone. I believe agent ownership and the mobility. We are allowing agents to have truly 100% mobile, paperless, just ability with a device to go out and be a realtor and not have to be anywhere, anytime, ever. Wow, that is just power. That is power. So the ownership piece, but then the complete mobility, that's what I think is driving all this attention. And a lot of media and a lot of spotlight, this calls disruption, it is what's drawing this growth to eXp Realty. Folks, just look around the room right now. Again, if you press your space bar, it will allow you to use your mouse to move your head up and down and left and right. And then if your head's stuck looking at your ruby red shoes, you can just hit the space bar again and it will straighten your head out. But look around the room right now. If that's not enough to differentiate who we are and what we are, well, then let me go ahead and continue. So what eXp is truly doing right now is transforming, and I'm going to say it's the new real estate experience. It's not just a new experience for real estate professionals and brokers and teams that are joining eXp Realty. We have small mom and pop brokerages coming over. We have top producing teams that are icons within the industry, and it's a new experience not only for them but for the consumer. Because the consumer has never worked with a real estate agent that has access to this room full of people and this knowledge and this staff and this technology. And so there's really no other real estate brokerage or model that can compete and show what we can show, what we have. And this is transforming, this experience. The industry today, folks, is looking at eXp Realty as the forward-thinking company, and they're looking at us as the ones who are creating and implementing the new way. And so the spotlight is definitely on how we're transforming the industry. And again, it's because we're a cloud brokerage. Nobody's going to go defranchise their organization and shut down 5,800 offices that they proudly tout on their website. I love every competitor out there. Some of my best friends work for the competition, and I love that. That's okay. Folks, we do real estate the same way that everyone else does. We're just doing it without the overhead, without that operating cost, without those expenses. That's all. And we do it with minimal brick and mortar, only where we have to have it in the states it's required to remain compliant, etc. Come on, we're a publicly traded company. Of course, we're going to be above board, dot all the I's, cross all the T's. But keep in mind, today, we are the only 3D, fully immersive, high-tech, high-touch technology that you're sitting in right now, which is just a conduit that's doing what? It's connecting you and I, real estate professionals from all over the world, and we're doing it with a simple and typically free Wi-Fi internet connection. You can even be here. We have people right now on the mobile application, so you could be here on your iPhone, your Android, your iPad, your laptop, your big desktop computer in the car. It doesn't matter. Full access. We're not browser dependent. We're not operating system dependent. So anyone can come in here anytime. Being a cloud brokerage has huge, huge benefits. We can do as much, folks, as you can do in a brick and mortar, physical brick and mortar building. In fact, I believe in most cases we can do more. Like I just pulled an entire audience of more than 80 people to find out you're in over 47 states and there's almost 300 years experience in this room. And I did it in a matter of 60 seconds. If we were at the Marriott in the Grand Ballroom, I couldn't have got that information. I couldn't have gathered that intel from you that quickly, that easy. So what it really says is we can make it faster, quicker, more efficient, more effective. We can do as much, as I said, in most cases, more than can be done in a physical office, which means we reduce the cost, the time, and the learning curve it takes to help you be successful. These are some of the different things we have going on in here. You can see some of the screenshots behind me. The information sharing is just happening every second of every moment in this cloud. That's what we do every day, all day. But we do have specialized departments, and we also have our team collaboration where people are inviting in their title company, their lender, their appraiser, and they're having meetings in the week so they don't have to drive anywhere or borrow the title company's conference room. You'll see people coming in here just to get tech support. Right down the hall, out those doors behind you is a tech outpost. Not with one person sitting in there or two. We have an entire outpost of people standing around waiting, wanting, willing to help you. We also do daily trainings in here, anywhere from 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 classes a day going on. You could see that at expcloud.com. And then just this morning, we've already had 2 huge sessions. The leadership of the company stands up here every Friday morning, does a state of the division. Let me say that again. Not once a month, not once a year and call it a family get-together or a state of division meeting. They do it every Friday morning. So as owners, everybody wants to come in and hear what's going on with their company, right? So right after that, guess what happens? At 9 o'clock every Friday morning, the top agents in the country for eXp Realty. They're called icons. They went beyond paying their bills. They've reached the capping status, and now they come back as icons and tell you how they reached that icon status. I'm going to talk a little bit more about icons later. So we do have more than, last I checked, close to 200 or maybe over now, full-time staff here working at eXp Realtor for all of our agents and brokers and teams and owners. Folks, right now in this world where you're sitting, we offer tech support. I've got an agent services department. I've got a transaction management team that will answer personal transaction questions for you. I've got my accounting department over there. If somebody steps on your nice ruby red shoes on your avatar, I've got the human resources in the back. You can go after them for harassment. I have brokerage operations. I'm kidding. I have brokerage operations and one of the best executive leadership teams I've ever met or seen or worked with in the industry. And again, I started in 1985. This is an environment where things are happening. We are experiencing today, folks, unprecedented growth. We are on a path and journey that no man, no company, no brokerage, anybody has ever been down this path in the history of real estate. So being able to grow this company, be an owner in the company, having skin in the game, and being able to work from any spot in the world with just an internet connection truly makes you 100% a mobile asset to anyone and every path you cross. And that's what I want to go to next, is because you really are the most important thing. This is your career, folks. Listen, I know none of you, just like me, none of us were asked to be born. So you chose this career. It may not be the career when you were 5 years old and said, I want to grow up and be a fireman, or I want to grow up and be a Barbie, or whatever it was. This may not have been your childhood dream, but now it is a dream, right? It's come true. It's real. It's your career. These are your clients. This is your passion, folks. This is your time. This is your life. So I'm going to get a little more serious, because I believe, and the company believes, and when you work with people here and the staff and other agents, this is Susie Truax, and she believes this, and she quoted this. Now, Susie is our chair. She's also on our board of directors, by the way. She's our chairperson for the Agent Advisory Council at eXp Realty. I'll tell you a little bit about them in just a moment. But her quote was this: one of the huge benefits here at eXp is that they not only provide the right tools to help you be successful with the training and everything goes with it, right? But at the same time, they embrace the agents who want the flexibility to run their business the way they feel works best for them. Haven't you always wanted to do your real estate business the way you wanted to do it? Has somebody been babysitting you, micromanaging you? Are you a forward-thinking individual? Are you self-motivated? Can you get up? Can you say, I'm going to go make my contacts? I'm going to get my... Listen, it's your business. It's your life. You should be able to run your business the way you want to run your business. Well, eXp Realty to me is a one-size-fits-all type model, and that there really is something here for everybody. We're able to truly provide you a better, more flexible online resource, and it doesn't matter where you are, whether you're an agent, whether you're a broker, whether you're a team. We do it all within this technology. We have the better tools because we don't have the overhead. We have nicer and more efficient products and services because we don't have the overhead. And why are we getting better people? Why do we hire the people, even better people in the company? Because, and they're able to give back in ways that most agents can never imagine. It's like, why would I come in here and help you? It's unbelievable. It's the exact opposite. It's contrary to traditional real estate models and brokerages. We all want to come in and help each other, and the rising tide, guess what? Raises all ships. Supply and demand simplicity. Listen, I know this, you know this, not all agents are created the same or equal. Folks, we have all levels of people joining the company. Close to 100 people I heard a day. Last week, 300 people joined. We have 1,000 people in a month join eXp Realty. And it's new agents, veteran agents. We have small brokerages that are coming. The whole brokerage is coming over. Some cases they're keeping their brand and putting the eXp logo as a powered by, and other cases they're just going over the whole company. Mitch Ribach is a great example. I love picking on Mitch because I give him a bad time. He wanted to play in the Expressions band, and that's why he joined eXp. But that's not true. He brought Tropical Realty from Florida, all 50 of his agents, his entire brokerage, and moved the whole thing over to eXp Realty. And why is the question I keep asking. Why would these people, these top agents, Jay Kinder, #2 in the world for Coldwell Banker, why? Why would these people come to eXp Realty? Why would Jay Thompson from Zillow move his brokerage to eXp before he went to work at Zillow? And I think it's because these people, these smart people, and even these teams, they're finding all the tools, all the resources with no overhead, no cost that they need to achieve their goals and ultimately succeed. So let me share a few of those, a few of the tools when I talk. We can get better tools, products, system support, people. We have in place what we call our core technologies. And so if you didn't have to spend, what if you were spending, say, $36,000, or when I asked Jay Kinder what his cost was, he said something like $50,000 plus a month is what it costs to have the brick and mortar, the janitor, the bottled water, the fax toner, and a building for his agents to sit in. So if you could put that money back in your pocket, what are you spending for your mortgage or your house payment? or an office if you're in an office. What would you do with that money if you could put it back in your pocket? Well, one of the things that eXp's done is we've invested back into the tools and products and services we're going to give to all of our agents. So everybody at eXp gets access to the Google Professional Business Suite of tools. This is part of the onboarding and orientation process in which we are refining because, again, we are in unprecedented territory. No company has onboarded the volume of agents and brokers and teams that eXp is doing today. So we're building out a beautiful orientation. We're building out an amazing onboarding, and it's going to be like two separate beginning and ends to really help you, go through this process because a lot of people are really taking this opportunity very serious. So this Google Business Suite of tools is just one of the cool things you'll get access to. Everybody will get access to SkySlope, and again, all of this is included when you join the company. SkySlope is a wonderful transaction management system. We get 24/7 support, 365. It's cool because it integrates with your WIN forms, zip forms. It's completely mobile. It has a document repository. And the really cool thing is it ties into this other program because all your transactions are going to be done on SkySlope. It ties into the eXp Enterprise, which each and every agent has access to now, which is basically your entire business. It is a one-stop resource for all things eXp Realty, and your business is there. All of your transactions can be tracked, your capping status, your commissions, your stock, your equity share volumes, your revenue share details, and then you have this one-click access to all these different tools and resources. Again, the tools we're talking about that are provided to you by us and some of our business partners and affiliates. Lead generation, it's what drives real estate business. If you don't have a contact to talk to, you probably don't have an appointment. And if you don't have an appointment, you're probably not selling as many homes as you'd like to. Everybody in the company gets their choice. We have conversion, the light version, which will now become KV Core. I call it the Lamborghini. And then we have, or Commissions Inc., which is called Sync, and that could be your Maserati. These are both lead generation platforms, and we provide this light version of each or either to you. We also offer WordPress hosting and training behind this. So if you have a domain name, you want to incorporate your conversion or your KV Core into a WordPress site and have your MLS IDX feed in there, we will set you up on a WordPress hosting here at eXp and offer you the training behind that. And then lastly, if you're looking to compete against some of those companies that want a lot of money, I'll just say the ZTR platforms that want anywhere from $1,000 to $10,000 a month for you to advertise, we have what's called a Making It Rain program. Making It Rain, you can get the same exact type of lead at a fraction of the cost. We're going to start doing classes in here starting next week. In the meantime, you could go to makingitrain.exprealty.com and get more details. We also do a lot of hands-on lead generation classes. We provide resources, farming, training, tools to help you get more contacts, help you make more appointments with consumers in your markets, which always leads to having you experience more closings. And then, as I said earlier, you're the brand. Mitch is the brand. Jay Thompson's the brand. You're the brand. If you were to call somebody from 3 years ago and ask them if they, remember you, of course they will. You're their realtor. But if you were to ask them what company you work for, you're going to be surprised. Don't do it because you'll embarrass them and you'll embarrass yourself because they probably won't remember the company. Folks, people buy real estate and trust you with their greatest investment because you are the brand. So whether you keep your brand that's known, loved, and trusted, you just throw an eXp logo up on there, use us as the umbrella to power your brand, or whether you use the eXp brand, we have all the marketing, we have all the branding you're ever going to need. We're partnered with Breakthrough Broker. We have our own shareable internal marketing department. There's no better branding and marketing opportunity and access to it with a simple pop here into the cloud and just walk over to that department. Amazing, amazing what this technology truly can do for us. So and again, this is hard for you to really experience and maybe get your arm around because until you've come in here 3, 4, 5, maybe 10, 15 times, you start to realize how much time you're saving, how much cost you're saving. You're finding out how much of the learning curve you're reducing. Folks, we can help you literally because of this technology and the people we have in place in this company. We can help you grow faster, easier, more efficient, way more effectively. We can reduce that learning curve and the time it takes for you to succeed. It's clear. If I had a question right now for all of you, you're scattered around the country, you've got multiple years of experience, I'm going to get multiple answers to walk away with. There's no better resource in the world for me. Of course, I could call a 1-800 number and get somebody in Bangladesh and sit on hold for a half an hour to get my answer. Right? I mean, so we provide enough, not just give you the product, the tool, the service. Here's conversion. Oh, okay, no, here's KV Core. No, how for Sky Slope? Here, log into Breakthrough Broker. Good luck, have fun, bye-bye, and then leave you hanging and fending for yourself. We provide you the training, the education, the support, the tutorials, the Q&A, the live training, the recorded training, the written tutorials, the express way, and even every Sunday we will send out a letter to every one of you, if you're with eXp Realty, obviously, the entire weekly schedule for the following week ahead. And so we take a lot of pride in the training because we don't want to just throw products at you and try to align you with the things that you need and then leave you hanging without the instructions behind that. So how are we able to make all of this happen? Some of you have heard, different things out there. And so I'll tell you how we're able to make it happen is what we've basically done is built a model and a brokerage. We're international. We're not a franchise. So we're one company, global, right? And we did it with one thing in mind. And I mean this sincerely, and any of you that have been here for any length of time, you know this. The company is built and created from the mindset of Glenn Sanford, which was this: I want to build a company that I myself would want to go to work for. And so now you get to see Glenn's vision on a screen. He probably sat there and said, while he was eating a Denny's pancake, right? I don't know. But he thought, I want to have an agent services department. I want to have a customer service department I can walk into and get help. And if I have a question about anything in the brokerage, I've got an operations department, Kathy Gordon, I can go talk to. But my phone's not working. My Android just crashed. My iPad has that spinning circle, colorful thing of death. My toaster's on fire. I don't know. I just need some technology. Or I need some marketing ideas, maybe a better up-to-date listing presentation. Or maybe I need to learn how to grow and go beyond this paying my bills as an agent status and go to this capping status everybody's talking about. And now what is this thing? It's called Icon? Really? And then I have a question. When do you get paid here? When does that revenue share check come out? And what's this thing about agent equity program? What? Walk into any of these departments right outside those doors behind you, folks. They're all here, and they're all here for you. Wait a minute. You're telling me eXp Realty has hired all of these staff and buildings and people and organizations, and they're all here to work for me? None of you are used to that. None of you have ever had that. But every agent at eXp Realty has that. We have an entire 200, probably 200 plus today, full-time staff that are there to support you. Now, some of them are obviously on the back ends and in the quiet, and they're back in I call them the people that work beneath Disneyland so that you can have the greatest time on earth. There are people underneath that place working really hard, just as there is here at eXp Realty. These are our core values. I have to share this with you because the bottom line is we want our value proposition here at eXp Realty to be so good, anybody who saw the model would feel irresponsible hanging their license anywhere. Folks, these are the core values that have strung this organization together since I've known Glenn in the very beginning. These values have created this, I like to just call it a cord. It's an unbreakable cord that has tied this company together, almost like a snowball effect. Just keeps getting bigger and stronger and becoming a rope, and it's bound us together as a company. We truly are a family of owners, and that's just not out there. We're a lot of forward-thinking entrepreneurs just like you. We're a whole group of collaborative people who now have an unfair advantage in this very competitive industry. One of my favorite core values in the lower left corner on the screen on your view would be that one that has a thumb up. And what is Facebook? Fun. What is eXp? Have you seen any company, publicly traded company, where fun is part of their core value? Let me ask you, are you having fun in your real estate business? Are you just trying to struggle through and pay your bills? Are you just trying to, be an independent contractor and just get out there and just make ends meet? Look at these core values and consider looking at what we're doing. We also have an agent advisory council. These are the ears, the eyes, they are the mouth, they're everything. They're the implementers, I call them, here at eXp Realty. This is a group of people that is the sounding board. They're there to help and ask questions. Of course, we have a thing over on Workplace where you can ask anybody anything. But the Agent Advisory Council, these are people that were nominated and selected. 2 of these members serve as our board of directors. And it's just great to have people, Jean Frederick up there in the top right corner, and also Susie Truex, both on our board of directors. As we grow beyond, I remember 300, I remember 30 agents, 300, then 1,000, then 3,000, and here we are 1,000 in a month now. And just having a group of people that are there to go to sound and bring back information from the masses across the globe is awesome. And these are all great people. I've met most of them, and I think you'll enjoy working with them here at eXp. Let's go and just dive right in. I got about 15 minutes, so you're ready. Brad, I've seen enough. I've heard enough. I've done my research. I've seen enough videos. I've talked to my sponsor who invited me in. Show me the money. Show me what it would cost me to start. How much do I get paid? What are the financial opportunities I keep hearing about? So I'm gonna go through this because, folks, there's more financial opportunity. If you got into real estate and all you've ever done is sell houses to make money, I just want you to sit back and take a deep breath, because this is an opportunity I really want you to think hard and long about, because it has to be right for you. And if it's not right for you, then, none of you are committed or obligated, whether you're watching this or you're here now live or someone's recording this, it doesn't matter. None of you are obligated or committed to joining this company any more than you are when you walk into a restaurant and ask to see a menu. You're in the restaurant, you're looking at the menu, you're checking us out. So if you were to say, all right, Brad, if I were interested in doing more due diligence, you could do that. You could talk to your sponsor. You can talk to any of the departments around the cloud after this class. You could talk to other agents within the company, within your community, within this cloud environment right here, right now. But here's what we're looking at. So everybody, and I know this is going to shock some people because I know some of you invited here today are on a much lower split. So the way it works now is you work for ABC Realty, and that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. You go out, you sell a home. I know for a fact some of you are on 60-40s. Some of you are on 70-30s. Some of you are on 100% commission already. And you're saying, well, why would I? Well, let me get to that. So everybody at eXp Realty starts on an 80-20 split. That's it. Doesn't matter who you are, what part of the country you're in. You're going to start, the company's going to give you 80%. They're going to keep 20%. That only happens for a short time, because once you've paid in $16K, that's it, just $16K. Once that 20% you paying each transaction into the company reaches $16K cap, you go to 100% commission, no questions asked. You just get 100% commission until your anniversary date, right? Your 1 year anniversary, and then you reset and you go back to the 80-20. So that gives everybody in the company an opportunity to go to 100% commission, and you're in charge of making that happen. It's all up to you. It's kind of like nobody can make you go anywhere in your car. You have to turn the key, you have to press the gas pedal, and you have to know where you're going. So we allow you to do that, but everyone's on the 80-20. Now, if you wanted to start today, it would be $49. And they didn't pick 49 because I live in the Bay Area and I'm a 49er fan. Uh-oh, somebody just threw something up here on the stage. I think it was one of my Raider fans out there. Seriously, it's $49, and that gets you your business cards, that gets you your folders, it gets you set up on all the systems, it gets you a ton of stuff. The $50 a month tech fee is included. So your startup fee today would be $99. But folks, you still have to go through a vetting process. You know they're going to check your background, your license, your MLS. They're going to want to look at America's Most Wanted. This typical vetting process. The broker's going to want to meet with you, and and that's it. Now, there is a one-time $420 university tuition, but that does not come out of your front pocket. It comes out of your first closing. So again, $49 plus the $50, the first month's tech fee, and then that $420 would come out of your first closing. Remember, we're not a franchise, so we don't have the garbage fees, the learning fees, the this fee, the that fee, the franchise fee, the blah, blah, blah fees. There are no fees. There's only 2 fees you pay on your transaction, and that's E&O insurance, which I think is $30, and you pay for a broker to review your file, which is $25, and that's the fees, and that's how we roll. Everybody can be an owner in this company. I'm going to show you 6 ways right now when I talked about agent ownership and mobility. Watch this. Anyone can go Google eXp right now. If you go Google eXp, you're going to see, that's our stock symbol. You're going to see it pop up, probably Yahoo Finance or Market Reports, whatever. But you can go to any website like E-Trade, Scottrade, and it doesn't matter if you're an apple farmer or you work for Campbell's Soup or maybe you're a zookeeper somewhere. Anybody who has a pulse and lives on the planet can go in and buy eXp Realty stock. You just go in and type eXp under one of those platforms where you would buy anybody's stock, Apple, Google, Home Depot, and you just buy eXp stock. That's one way. The second way is if you joined eXp Realty today and you sell your first house or help a buyer close on a transaction, on your first closing, the company is going to do the 80-20 split, like I said, but they're also going to give you 50 shares of stock just for closing your first transaction. So on your first closing, congratulations, you get your pay like you would anywhere, because that's what you're doing today anyway. But in addition, they're going to give you 50 shares of company stock, award that to you. You now become an owner and have shares in the company and instantly becoming the owner of a company. There's a third way you can get company stock is when you go out and you decide getting 100% commission would be awesome. I'd love to be what they call a capper, because that capping status means I go to 100% commission. Who does not want 100% commission? Aren't you the one out there taking pictures, putting signs in yards, stuffing lockboxes on doors and flyers? Aren't you the one doing it all? You are. So yes, 100% commission in Glenn and in this company's eyes is important for you to be able to have access to that. So when you get to 100% commission, not only do they congratulate you and start paying you 100% commission, they give you 125 shares of company stock just for reaching that status. So wait a minute, I close my first transaction, I become an owner, I get stock. I go out and I sell more homes and I get this status because I'm selling homes, doing what I got a license to do, and I get more stock and 100% commission. Yes, yes. So far you don't have to jump through any burning hoops and tame the tigers at the Barnum and Bailey Circus. No, you just go out and do what you got a real estate license to do. There's a fourth way you can get stock, and that's if you go out and tell people you know, love, and trust about the company. I call my friend. Maybe I call Glenn Sanford like he called me. Glenn, you got to see what I'm doing. I'm no longer with the company you knew I was with. Well, what are you doing now? Well, let me show you. Tell me if I made a good choice. I show him the model. He says, man, this is awesome. I want to join. He joins the company. The company gives me 125 shares for every person I share this model with that joins the company. I made a friend, a really good friend at the NAR convention. We've met 6 times in person. I feel like I know them really good. They're almost like family to me. They're across the country. So of course I'm going to invite him and show him this model. And if he joins the company, I'm going to stay connected to this guy. He's awesome. But the company will give you 125 shares of stock for every agent that you attract into the company. There's a fifth way you can become an owner and get even more stock. And that's just by going out and selling a house and then saying, I would like eXp to take up to 5% of my commission check. My earnings, I want you to take 5% and I want you to buy company stock at a 20% discount. So be it. It's called our Agent Equity Program. And you can actually invest up to 5% out of every transaction you have in this company. And you can buy that company stock back at a 20% discount. There's a sixth way you can get stock and all of your cap back. Wait a minute, you said it costs $16K. You pay $16K in, you go to 100% and you cap. Yeah. Once you cap though, if you can close 20 more transactions, you'll earn what's called icon status, which means we'll not only give you that $16K cap back, that means you've gone to 100% commission for the whole year. You get $16K cap back in stock when you reach icon status. Folks, this ownership adds up. It really does. You take this stock ownership and, I'm not here to talk about the value of the company. I think it's pretty obvious. Anybody can go Google us and look at the 1-year, 5-year all-time trend of what the company is doing as far as growth. That's really up to you. And for all of you investors in the audience today, you can go to eXpWorldHoldings.com. Again, that's all one word, eXpWorldHoldings.com. And you can look at our SEC, all of our filings, our financials, all that good stuff is right there on that site. I want to talk now about the revenue share model, and then we're going to wrap up. I'll try to go to questions if there are any. But the revenue share model here, and while it's not the core flux of this company, it is an attractive piece that's helping people look at the opportunity here at eXp as, again, another financial opportunity beyond the ownership and the shares and the agent equity awards and the agent equity program and the higher commissions and the lower cap. The company's gone one step further and saying, listen, we'll share with you because that's what you deserve. And so the revenue share model, most of the agents that I've ever met, and probably you all fall into this category or you know everybody like this, every agent I've ever met at big events around the country, they're independent contractors. They can only make a living and get paid and survive in life based on their own production, their own commissions, their own closings. So what eXp is offering, besides everything I've just shown you, is an opportunity for agents to actually share revenue, not profit on the bottom, revenue off the top in their own personal groups without going through the complicated, painstaking, time-intensive steps it takes you to get a broker's license, find the agents, find a building, get the desks, put them in there. Folks, this is the most unbelievable opportunity that so many agents are taking advantage of that are coming here. They're closing tons of transactions. They're capping. They're getting icon status. And then on top of that, they're getting revenue share. So what the revenue share program does is it pays out a percentage of revenue off of the top when a commission check comes in to the agents and brokers based on any closed transactions by the people that they've invited or attracted into eXp Realty. So we call that sponsored agent column. You see it in the middle. This chart shows you the breakdown of revenue share percentages that are included. They're called expansion shares and exponential shares, and they're determined by agent growth and your participation and activities. And that's it. So if you go out and you sell a house today and you tell the listing agent that, or the buying agent that's writing you the offer, or maybe you're writing the offer and you're meeting with the selling agent, the listing agent, you could have a conversation. This is how people are hearing about eXp Realty. Just in the passing and doing of a transaction, the conversation's coming up. Would you like to meet me in my cloud? I can hand you the document right there. What? You mean I don't have to pick up an Uber and drive on over and have that faxed over to my office? No, you just meet me in the cloud and I will hand you the counteroffer right there in the cloud. Folks, I can hand you all right now anything I want to hand you. See that little box in the text chat with the little arrow pointing up? Means we can share anything we want to share in here together or privately. So that's a powerful way. And a lot of people come in here and they're showing the model and they're inviting people into this session. And as people are joining the company, they're going into each and every agent's revenue group. And of course, that sponsor is there to help you and on board and orientation and get you settled in. And the most important thing is to get you out there and, paying your bills through real estate. But I say is I would love to see everybody cap. That's my mission here at eXp, is to help every agent cap. And then on top of that, I would love for them, once you cap, that's when you start to taste this thing called icon status. And if we can make every agent in eXp Realty an icon agent with an icon agent status, folks, we would list and sell America. We're already doing things no one else has done. That would just be icing on the cake. And so the way this works, I'm going to give you kind of an example. If I were to tell my friend about eXp Realty and he joins the company, okay, he goes out and he sells a house, I would be considered his sponsor. And so I would be there to help him answer questions, all a plethora of things I would do as his sponsor. And if you want to know what that is, you can come here next week. Vicky Bartholomew, the president of eXp, and Brent Gove, one of our very respectable icons in the industry, is going to be doing a session on sponsorship. But as a sponsor, if this person I invited in goes out and sells a house, yes, I get that stock for telling him about the company, the 125 shares. But when he closes his first transaction, I'm going to get 3.5% right off the top. That's the revenue share, not the bottom. I'll get 3.5% off that transaction. And then his next transaction, I'll get another 3.5%. And every home he sells until he caps and goes to 100% commission, I will continuously get 3.5% until that total reaches what you see on this chart, $2,800. So my friend I just told about eXp, when he asked me, hey, I heard you were no longer at Zillow and you went over to eXp Realty. What are you doing there? Well, let me show you. Can I give you a preview of the model and show you why I came here? And then you can tell me if you think I made a mistake, right? And he looks at it, he says, not only did you not make a mistake, how do I get in on this? And so now I have 2 people, 3 people, 10 people I've told, 20 people I've told. Folks, this is a retirement strategy and an exit plan unlike any other company has available. Whether you take part in it or not is truly up to you. But it really is, and you can talk more about the revenue share piece with your sponsor or with your state administrative brokers. So let me, I'm going to kind of get into this eco-friendly thing. As you can all see, none of you drove here. Nobody's wearing virtual headsets. And so you're looking at the only and the most green, eco-friendly, non-carbon footprint company in the real estate business, maybe in the world. We are one of the few companies that can honestly tell all of our sellers and our buyers that we are protecting the earth and this world for generations and generations and their great-great-grandkids that they're never even going to meet. Even Stefan Swanepoel from Real Trends coined us back in 2013 when we went public as the Amazon of real estate. What is the Amazon? The Amazon is the cloud. The cloud to what? To Borders Bookstore, right? Borders Bookstore is your brick and mortar. Amazon is your cloud. The Washington Post has named eXp top places to work now 2 years in a row. And folks, on Glassdoor.com, we were just awarded and listed 2018 eXp Realty as the number 12 company as best places to work. And that's out of more than 700,000 small and medium businesses. So we're pretty proud of these spotlights. Let me conclude and wrap up with this thought because we are at the top of the hour. If earning 100% commission for all of the work you're doing out there helping people buy and sell their homes means anything to you, seriously. If owning your company instead of getting in your car and just going to work for it every day has any impact on your thoughts right now, and if having this passive revenue income in addition to the shares you earn by just being who you are, a real estate agent, and doing it all from a technology here that gives you the true unfair advantage to compete against your competitors locally, nationally, and globally. Folks, if this sounds good to you, please continue your due diligence. Keep looking deeper into eXp Realty. Reach out to the person who invited you here today. They're your sponsor. They can help you further. Seriously, would you have invested in Netflix if you knew that Blockbuster was going to happen? What was going to happen to Blockbuster? What happened to Blockbuster? I don't pay 99 cents anymore to have my videos rewound for me. I pay $8.99 or $9.99 and I get it all streamed and downloaded and it's available on any device. Netflix is the cloud, folks. Blockbuster is your brick and mortar. Barnes & Noble is your brick and mortar. Borders Bookstore, brick and mortar. But wait, that would mean Amazon is the cloud. So here's a good analogy. If you call a taxi cab right now to come pick you up, wait 5 minutes, then download the Uber app and call an Uber driver, I guarantee you, you're going to have a different experience. And somebody will still show up at your house first. So folks, you can hang on to that taxi cab past, and some people will, and some do, or you can ride with eXp into the Uber future. But in closing, I do want to remind everybody that while this eXp world you've been in for the last hour is our cloud home, this is where we live, work, and play. These doors in this world, folks, they're always open to you regardless of where you choose your home, wherever you choose to hang your license. Our world is open to you. And just for the record, before you run, we're not just a bunch of colorful, cute little avatars with Goldilocks hair and ruby red slippers running around in some little gaming play world. Folks, I'm a real guy. I'm not an animatronic. We are real people all around you right now, just like you, doing the same things everyone else is doing in real estate business. We're just doing it a lot more efficiently here. With this technology, we can do it so much more effectively. And if I haven't shown you enough, I guarantee you, we're all making so much more financially from it. So thank you for coming to the cloud today. Thanks for coming to the campus. Thank you for taking time out of your valuable time, folks, to join us. I hope the information I've shared has been useful and helpful. Remember, go back to your sponsor that invited you here today, or whoever told you about eXp Realty. They can help you with the next steps. Have a wonderful path. Enjoy your journey. I look forward to seeing you all back here again soon in the cloud. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.